Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hashtag Agency Life. This is Lee, and on today's show, we have Tracey. Rickard, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty good. A little bit sleepy because we have an Australian client, and I had to get up super early, which is okay. I normally am up at 5:30, but as it's the end of their day, I have to get up an extra hour early, and it's kind of it took its toll this morning. I've had 3 coffees.
Oh,
Yeah. But this isn't about me, even though I've just spent the last minute at least moaning about myself. It's about you. And we're going to learn all about your business. So thank you very much for coming on. You know the format. There's a whole load of questions we're going to hit you with. So are you ready to rock and roll?
yes, I think so. Ready as I'll ever be.
Brilliant. Okay, well, first of all, could you tell us the name of your business and what
Yes.
it is you do?
Tracey Rickard Digital Design. No, web design.
I like both. Both are equally good titles.
Thank you.
No worries. And what is it you guys do?
I design and build custom themes on the WordPress platform. So I do lots of consultation with my clients in terms of what they really want and the functionality that they need, and then build it up on WordPress.
Brilliant. And is that themes that you code, or is that themes that you're using a framework for?
No, I code them.
Nice. And then design ways, I love finding out how people do it because everyone does it in a very different way. Do you design the concepts in a graphic design application and then build, or do you design during the build?
Yeah, it's all designed in Photoshop because
Yeah.
we need to get a handle on exactly what they want it to look like and importantly what they want it to do,
Yeah.
and what actions they want their clients to take. So there's quite a lot we need to consider at design stage, and then after they've signed that off, hopefully without too many reviews, it goes on to development.
Yeah. No, I can hear you with regards to the revisions. We once got to revision 99, but that's another story.
Yeah.
So if we were going to have a massive birthday party, maybe a barbecue, invite all of our friends around, have some beers and all that jazz, when would we be celebrating your agency's birthday, and how old is it? Or even
It's 12 years old, and it would be August the 28th. So the same day as today.
That's insane. I should have brought party poppers and everything.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday. That's amazing. It's also my mum's birthday, just so everybody knows.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
Happy birthday, Mum.
Happy birthday, Mum. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now then, let's find out then about your business's mission. It's you, so we're not going to go into the team questions, etc. But we'd really love to know, do you work in a particular industry or niche with your business?
No, I've tended to do a lot of holiday websites over the years because I suppose when I started working for safari companies in Kenya, and I got referrals and then into other holiday companies. And I've just done a website for a ski chalets company in France.
Brilliant.
But I'm also done quite a lot of e-commerce now, but I tend to do everything. There's nothing that I found that we can't do.
So really, I guess, is a big part of the decisions that you take on a project. You'll do a project because it sounds exciting. You'd love to be a part of that rather than necessarily sticking to one channel.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is how it sounds, and it is how prepared the client is. And as long as the client understands how much work they need to put into it, that's a big factor as well, because it's not a one-sided thing, as you probably know.
Absolutely.
So it's all about client commitment, the excitement of the project, and whether I think it's actually something that I could add value to.
Yeah. And they're really important questions to ask anyone who's watching. I would definitely recommend, you want to make sure that you're going to be happy working with this client and finding out all of that. What's their commitment? That's financially, but it's also their time and their understanding. Yeah. And equally, are you the right person for them as well? Do you add the value? So they're really, really good pieces of advice. So thanks for sharing that. So thinking about your clients, the different sorts of clients you work with, what do you feel is the main problem that you solve for them?
It's really people that can't find an off-the-shelf solution to do what they want to do, or they don't want to find an off-the-shelf solution. There are a lot of, you can just set up a WordPress site in a heartbeat, but it's actually people need more. They need to understand how their branding will fit in with everything, how we carry that message, and also how we get clients to do what they want them to do. So it's not kind of something really that any of the people that I work with feel that they can do without some hand holding, really.
So it's taking them from something they could do themselves, but helping them understand that entire process, and getting people to do what it is that you need to do. Again, such a valuable subject or heading to start any relationship with is, what is it do you want to achieve, and what do you want the visitors to your site to do? So again, fantastic. All right, well, let's talk about marketing then. How do you generate leads? You've been rocking on now for 12 years. That's incredible. So how are you generating leads? How has that changed, I guess, over the last 12 years, if it has at all?
I get quite good leads through Google, so I'm still quite lucky there. And the referrals I get are good. And I also get now repeat, of course, because people that had an HTML site 10 years ago need a more dynamic site today, and they also they want to edit their own content. That's the massive thing, really. So it's about giving the clients the right site for them that they can then look after, because there's an ongoing cost of ownership that we can eradicate. So it costs more upfront to get a site they can edit themselves, but ongoing they save the money.
Absolutely, that's awesome. And I remember the first HTML sites I built, and the first time I then did a foray into content management systems, it was a French one called Dixit, which was Dixit. And then very quickly, I think within days, after making a site live, I discovered WordPress, like the very first version. In fact, I think it was the version before WordPress had forked into WordPress. And I was like, oh no, this is perfect. This is exactly what I needed. So, I don't know. Hashtag geek. All right. So how do you measure success? And that doesn't necessarily need to be in business. It could just generally be in life. But how do you measure success? What makes you feel satisfied or that you've achieved something?
Okay, well, client feedback is massive, obviously. So that's probably my biggest measure for success in my business, because if a client is prepared to write something down about how good their experience was, then that is, as good as it gets, really. And then in the real world, I go and teach people about websites and social media, and in the context of their website. So their website being their central hub, and how they can use that to drive traffic to come back to their website through social media, things like that. So the success there is that when people actually go away and actually do it. So that's a really good measure. And I don't know, in life, just to be happy. That's really cliche, but
I think we all want to be there. It's true, isn't it?
Just if I have enough happy days, then I guess that's a successful life, isn't it?
A good happy day, seeing clients actually action what it is you've taught them, see your clients get results, and obviously receive that awesome feedback. I think they're all really good, different kind of key touch points, aren't they, in our daily or weekly life that help to feed that happiness tank. Because let's face it, if you switch on the news, there is a whole load of negative news on there, and you can very quickly feel down.
I know, it is really depressing at the moment. So so we have to,
definitely limited it.
I do lots of walking and try, get out and about as much as possible. So that all adds to it, really.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, let's go into confession time. It's just me and you and a few thousand listeners, so we're all good. Secret's safe. What do you feel the biggest problem you have within your business is?
Oh God, being able to stop. So I don't stop early enough on time. That's a massive problem. And because sometimes I don't do that, I can get to feel that I really need more time out. So if I stopped at 5 o'clock and started at 8:30 in real terms, then I could probably work a lot more weeks before feeling the need to take a break. So it's kind of, that's the self-defeating thing. You've just got to stop at the right time. So that's my biggest problem. I suppose, no, I can't think of any other. I did actually consider this question, and I did try to write down some, but that was the immediate thing that came to my head.
It's always the best to go with the gut, I think, and that's clearly big. It's something I think we all struggle with a lot of the time. What we've done, it may or may not help. I think I mentioned it on another agency life recently as well, is we've set our hours from 8 till 4. And we're being really strict with ourselves with regards to 4 o'clock is the finish point. We don't open emails and we walk away from our desks. And that kind of helps train our brains get stuff done for 4. If I think that I can just keep working until I'm done, take my time. So it may or may not help. Everyone's wired differently, aren't they? But that's helped me at least. Just give myself that invisible rule that, self-enforced rule that I've got to be finished at 4, and then I'm, go and get a beer or whatever and chill out. Although I can't do that every single night because then I'll never lose the weight. So.
But being a freelancer as well, I used to just think that I had to take every job that came along, and that's also a mistake because there's always a better one behind it.
Absolutely.
And I've learned that was a big problem for me, but I've learned that now to get the right job for you, the one that you fit best as well. So
it's really true, really true. Yeah. I'll echo that. For every either horrible client that we fired or job that we've said no to, there's always been something better around the corner, both financially and just generally nicer people as well. And you're a nice person. I know you like to work with nice people as well. So I can tell we have each other clocked. Well, let's talk about well-being, because I think you have just confessed that you struggle with this one. And I was going to ask you, how do you switch off? It sounds like you do struggle, but when you manage to, what do you do out of hours to kind of just chill out?
Okay, I go walking. I get out because I work from home. It's really important to get out and do a lot of walking. We've got a dog, and I also enjoy kayaking. And we now live back near the sea again, so that's great. So we get involved in sailing and all the things that we used to do before. Yeah. So that I find is great because it's actually away from here. But the key to winding down and well-being is I have to do it away. I have to go away from home. But yes, of course, I can spend time at home relaxing and shut the office door. But really the best for me is to get out and go and do something somewhere else.
I've definitely found we're in between offices at the moment because the new place we're having is having some work done to it. Yeah. So we've been working from home, and I'm definitely finding that kind of feeling of I can't quite escape the workplace. The office is there. It's at the back of the room. It's very tempting to go do something or check email, or looking at the office door as I walk past it kind of reminds me of something about work. So I totally get you. Just escaping from the house is
it's the biggest
amazing
thing.
Freedom. Yeah.
But we do some really nice things. We walked around the New Forest for 3 hours yesterday, which was
cool.
So, we have some nice days, and that's important, I think. Yeah.
There was a book, really old book. Is it Children of the New Forest?
Oh yeah.
Loved that book as a kid. It was so magical to me, and would love to travel back in time and go back to the New Forest then.
Yeah.
Which is completely off topic, but just kind of reminded me of that, and be right back to 11 years old.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I mean, and that was a place we holidayed when I was a kid. So
really?
So I still go back. I've been going back there for so many years. I won't tell you, but
yeah. Well, at least 20 years then. So, well, folks, completely off topic. You don't have to be a child to read it. Children of the New Forest. It's just a great read. It's really, really nice. I recommend check that. And also, if you're in the UK, go ahead and check that area of the country out. It's beautiful. So, and we've just had a run of amazing weather.
Yes.
So, mind you, it's beautiful, I think, any weather. We're Brits. We're kind of used to the rain. We don't really care, do we? We just get on with it.
No, we can still operate when it rains, thankfully. Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, I think you've already alluded to this because you go out quite a lot with regards to walks and that. But how do you stay healthy? Is it the walks and the sailing, etc.?
Yeah, and loads of Mediterranean food, really nice food,
really
healthy food. And I love cake. Okay, I'm absolutely a cake person, but I have to keep that to once a week.
Once a week? Wow.
Yeah, I'm quite good now. But I actually, I used to look at people who eat brown rice and brown pasta and think, oh God, how can you? And now that's all I eat. I love brown rice. And we just, a totally Mediterranean food, wonderful. And lots of exercise.
Do you mind describing to me then maybe one or two of your favorite Mediterranean dishes that would be so cool? Just so we can get an insight into your kind of your healthy eating, because I think a lot of us have got a really warped concept of what healthy eating is.
Okay, so we would have some chicken maybe in a kebab format, not actually on a stick, but cooked in a kebab style, perhaps a stir-fry format, but with very little olive oil. We'll go for some Mediterranean roasted vegetables on the same plate and some brown rice on the same plate, and that is lush.
Wow.
Really tasty.
Okay, so not lots of olives then. That's a good thing.
No. And then we let me think of another one. I'm not a big fan of pasta, but I also enjoy risotto type meals.
Oh yeah.
As you probably gathered, I love rice. I also we enjoy fish, lots of fish, sardines, and things like that. So yeah, so we do have. Yeah, it's just great. It's just lovely food.
I'm now starving. I wish I hadn't asked the question.
Yeah. I do. I like it. I like something on the plate to have some flavour and some spice and the rest of it. Yeah.
That's so good. I love cooking, and yesterday or the day before, I switched up the recipe a bit. I kind of make my own recipes up, and we made a vegetarian cottage pie, but with sweet potato as the topping, and it was absolutely phenomenal, if I say so myself, because I love my veggies. I do like my pasta and my rice as well, but my veggies are great. My problem is we do eat healthy, but I don't actually get out enough, like the physical activity, going out for lots of walks, and that 3 hours in the New Forest, that would probably happen once a blue moon in my life. So I really need to get my butt out there and do some sort of exercise.
Yeah, definitely.
You've put me to shame.
Oh, no, I'm not trying to. But, hey, I like a Cornish pasty every now and again as much as the next person.
Hallelujah. Right, well, we're coming into land. We've just helped everybody change their diets, so we could probably become those online health experts or something, couldn't we? So let's try that next time. But this is I'm knocking my microphone. This is my last question, and if you could name one tool that you feel has been essential to your success, then what would it be and why?
I have to say WordPress.
That's fine.
I've never come across a problem I couldn't fix with WordPress, which is amazing, or a requirement that we couldn't meet, and it's flexible, scalable. Everything they say it is, but it is. And without that, I wouldn't have my business. That's for sure.
Absolutely agreed. I can't imagine operating on a Drupal model or any other platform.
I tried that once. I'm glad I found WordPress. Let's just leave that one there.
Well, that's fine. I mean, let's just quickly unpack that a little bit because we've got a little bit more time. But would it be, what's the most beneficial to you in the WordPress kind of ecosystem? Is it the availability of, say, premium plugins or great plugins that are very flexible, or is it more the availability of other people's brain resource? Because everybody shares so much on the internet, so we've got kind of two major advantages. Which one do you think appeals to you the most?
I think the availability of people's brain resource has been invaluable over the years, but I think probably for me, actually, the biggest thing is the user, the ability for users to just pick it up and run with it, which is fantastic. Because if you've got, for clients that come to you and say that they're technophobes, to then find them adding their own posts and all the other stuff that goes with it is just so rewarding. So I think that element of it, the user friendliness of it, is a huge thing. Gutenberg, I'm not sure about at the moment. I've tried that a few times, so I'm kind of thinking I'm not quite seeing what that's bringing yet, but I'm sure we will.
I have an opinion.
Yes,
I'll share it if you want me to.
Yes.
Okay. So Gutenberg is probably okay. There is the classic editor anyway. People can turn on temporarily, and I think they're going to support that. From what I can tell from their information, probably for a few years. So not the end of the world yet. Gutenberg really is just, it's not a page builder. People think it is, and I thought it was. I think I've worked it out. I think what it is, it's meant to be a replacement editor which allows people to structure their content in a format. So that means we as the developers can still make it look however we want to in the front end. And Gutenberg is just to help the client kind of understand, all right, this is this section and this is my call to action. And this is my image. So I think that's what it's trying to achieve. I do like it personally, but I am concerned. I think you are. I'm guessing you are as well.
The user.
Clients. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I think that I'm not sure. We're in a world where people have used Microsoft Word for years, where they build things in a document, in one frame, effectively. So to take people away from from one frame to me is kind of going against the grain a bit, but we'll see. I'm not closed-minded, and WordPress is fantastic, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm with you. So I think it's brilliant, the structure of it. I am very concerned about onboarding clients, and will it make it more complicated or not? But I'm also relieved they're going to support the classic editor for some time. And like you, we had a conversation inside of the Facebook group just the other day where we were saying clients are used to Microsoft Word. They're used to Word documents. They know how to highlight text, press enter, do all that sort of stuff. So this is kind of a big leap for them. So, hey, let's see, watch this space.
Yes.
Well, thank you. It's been brilliant. I've loved chatting with you. I now feel starving, so I'm probably going to have to make some food. Dinner.
Yeah, me too, actually. No, I've enjoyed it. Thank you. That was great, actually.
Awesome. Well, how can people connect with you? And then we shall say goodbye.
Okay, via my website, traceyrickard.co.uk.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracey, and have a wonderful day.
Yeah, thank you, and you. Bye.
Bye.